welcome to Nana's channel. Today we are breaking beans and stringing beans. So we're going to show you guys how, between me and her, there's two different ways to string and break beans. I break them slightly differently. So it's a little harder for me to do them, so I break them like that. And I put them inside there. Then they go inside there with the other one. As you can see, I have a lot of these to do. And as you can see from our container here, we have a big thing of beans to do. So,
what kind of beans are those, Nana?
These are greasy cut shorts. They're a type of cornfield bean.
And so these are very nice, very pretty beans. So that is what we're going to do. Our next step, after we show you how we get them all broke up, we will show you how we wash them and wash our jars and get ready to can.
Hi everyone, we're back to Linda's channel, and we're now in part 2 of canning green beans. I have already finished canning 2 runs. A run is 7 jars, and I have 14 jars already are completed. Now we are on our final run of beans, of which were the ones that Nastasia was working on yesterday. So the first thing we have done, I have washed all the beans that we broke up, and after stringing them and bringing them up and breaking them up, and now then I have put approximately enough beans up here in the pot. They're in water, and what we have to do now is we are going to let these come to a boil, and they need to boil around 10 minutes. This reduces the enzymes in the beans when you're canning. This is just some information that I have in a ball canning brochure that I have used for many years. So we are going to let these come to a boil, and then we'll come back and we'll be ready to can green beans. Okay, we are back on our canning beans segment, and right now I thought I would go ahead and show you how to get your items all ready and prepared that you're going to need while your beans are heating up for the to boil. So first off here, this is my process. I have all my jars. You need 7 jars to do beans. I use a large Presto 7-quart canner to do my beans in. I've had this canner for probably 35, 40 years. I replace different things in it to make sure that it's working properly. It's very important to make sure that the vent and your rubber seal round are in good condition, but you should always follow the instructions on the canner that you are using. So first thing here, I have my 7 jars all washed. I wash mine in the dishwasher. Now that I have my first 3 set jars ready, I like to sterilize my jars as well. So I have them sitting here. They're going to be in boiling water. And on my very back burner back here, I have all my can lids and the rings. I also have them in boiling water as well. I have this handy little thing here that I use to get my jars out, which I will show you how I use this when we're canning and getting our jars out of the hot water or getting our jars out of the canner. This is a very nice thing to have. I also have a little magnetic holder here that I use that will actually go into the pot, and it will pick up your lids with their hot. You can pick them up and keep them sterilized. And so I use that a lot. And then I use Eat-A-Ball or Kerr rings and lids. So I have those already getting warm. I have a bowl here with some kosher salt or canning salt, whichever one, because you'll need a teaspoon of salt in each jar when you get complete. And I have a handy canning holder, which this fits inside of the jar when we get ready to fill it with the beans. So this is all my prep things that I have. So I am ready to go when the beans get hot. Thank you. Okay, everyone, we're back and our beans have been boiling for about 10 minutes. If you will look at them now, the beans have changed colors. They get a darker color, so that's when I kind of can tell that they have cooked long enough. They become a little bit darker. Okay, I have my first jar, and it's taken out of the very hot water. And I put my can filler there, and I use a coffee cup. You can use whatever's convenient for you or however you feel comfortable. But I use a coffee cup, and I start dipping the beans into the jar. These kind of beans have, the greasy cut short beans have more of a bean than some of the other types of beans. So it's just whatever type that you like to can and to eat. So now then, I have filled my jar, and I take my spoon now and I kind of mash everything down. You want to tighten it, but not real tight. And you want the water level to be up above the beans, as you can see. And I leave my can filler on while I take and I put 1 teaspoon of salt into the jar. So now then, I will take my little handy little magnet, and I have my hot lid that I'm putting on. And then I get my ring out, which is hot too. And I screw this on. Now then, the next person that's going to come is Harlan. He takes care of tightening the jar very tight. You got to get it really, really tight. Then you place it into the canner. And so, all right, we will be back shortly after we fill up all our cans, and we'll show you how it looks. Okay, as you can see, we have completed. We have all 7 of our jars. I have a few of the largemouth and a few of the regular mouth jars. It doesn't matter. That's okay. So now then, I'm going to just tell you a little bit how this pressure cooker works, but you need to read the instructions on the cooker, the pressure cooker that you are using. So there's water in the bottom of this canner. And so now then, we're going to place it on here. And sometimes it can be a little bit hard to tighten. And it's very important that it gets tightened.
We're unhipped, by the way.
Okay, so now that we have it tightened and everything is ready to go, I will turn the burner on to high. Now in this particular canner, we are going to let it get very hot, and back here in this steam vent, right back here, there will be steam come out of it. We let it come out for 10 minutes. You start timing it as soon as you see steam coming out. And as soon as your 10 minutes is up, then you will place the weight on here. I will let it go up to 10 pounds of pressure, and it stays on 10 pounds of pressure for 25 minutes. It's very important to keep your eye on the canner at all times. So when we get finished, we'll show you how everything looks at the very end. We are are back, and now then we are all finished. Our canner is cooled off. We've let all the steam out. We've taken the lid off, and now the only thing left to do is to remove our beans and put them out here to where they are to cool. This is the last part, and these will be really good to eat this winter. It usually takes about 15 or 20 minutes after you take the jars out of the canner. You will hear a pop, and that means the lid has sealed. And then that's what you need to check, like in about an hour or so, to make sure that all your lids are sealed. The lid will be down. Well, thank you. This is the last of our canning beans process. If you be sure to like, and if you're new, subscribe to our channel. Thank you.